Hey everybody, welcome back to the craft room. I am so glad that you could join me today. Today, I'm going to share with you a joke that my youngest son told us. I'm going to share with you some hats the mom has finished. I'm going to show you a cool Tunisian thing that I bet you guys didn't know about. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my mom. Now, we take care of my mom. We'll start with my mom. We are now taking care of my mom. She has been closer to us, not like she was over about an hour away, but she is now closer to us. She's been here almost 2 months, and she is almost 80 years old. My mom is the one that makes the stocking hats. She's the one that started all this stocking hat thing. She's still making stocking hats. However, she is aging, as most people do. She has not officially been diagnosed, but the doctor has stated she is showing signs of dementia or Alzheimer's, or maybe both. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know the difference between the two of them, but I do know that a lot of times they go together. So, that being said, Mom gave me a big scare today. Yeah, so Mom and I spent the entire afternoon in the emergency room at the hospital. Yeah, that wasn't how I planned on spending my day, and I also did not have any yarn with me, but it all happened so quick that I really didn't have to. All I had with me was my keys and my phone, and what I call the mom bag, which that in itself was another blessing for the day, because I had taken it with me thinking that I was going to work on some things with it, and I never got a chance. But it has, important information and stuff like that for her that we take to doctor's visits and that I have available if I need it for whatever reason. So what happened was, Mom, I guess, was on her way to see me or to talk to me, and I seen her walking down the alley. This was right about noon, because I remember hearing the noon whistle, the noon sirens go off. But I was headed towards her, like she was coming down the alley this way, and I was headed this way because I was going to hop in the car and go to the bank. And when I seen her, she got close enough, I was like, "Hey, Mom, you want to take a cruise around the block?" And she was like, "Why? What do you mean?" I was like, "You want to take a cruise around the block? I'm headed to the bank." And she stopped at the corner of the building and just leaned up against the building, and she says, "I don't feel good." So I went over there and I put my arm around her and I asked her what was wrong. And she just says, "I don't feel good. My chest hurts." And then she got this blank stare on her face and started shaking, like this. And down she went. Well, I kind of, since I had my arm around her, I helped her down to the ground so she didn't actually fall. I made sure and held her head so that she didn't actually hit it on the ground. And as she was going, out of the corner of my eye, I seen some gentlemen coming out of the business that they work at, and they were going to lunch, obviously, because it was noon, and I started hollering for help. So they came over and helped me finish getting Mom to the ground, because I had her kind of in a squatting position, but I wasn't able, the way I was holding her, I wasn't able to continue, to get her on the ground, because I didn't know what was going on. Was she having a heart attack? Was she having a stroke? Was something else going on? I didn't know. So they helped me get her down. I called Steve and said, "It's Mom. We need to go to the emergency room," because Mom was asking to go to the emergency room. And honestly, it's quicker if we take her than to call the ambulance. So Steve had to politely tell customers to leave and explain to them why he was asking them to leave, and they understood. And then he actually took us out to the emergency room and left us there and went back to work so that we weren't out the whole day of work. But yeah, Mom and I spent the entire afternoon in the emergency room. Mom is fine. She has in the past had a heart attack and a stroke, So these type of chest pains that she was having are probably pretty normal. They don't happen all that often, but it seems that when she gets herself worked up over something or gets stressed over something is when she starts having these chest problems. But the doctor got it under control. They gave her some high-powered medicine, and she finally was able to get some relief. She even took a nap. I wish I could have. I wish I could have been crocheting, but I didn't have anything. So note to me, I need to put some yarn and a hook, pardon me, in a bag in our car. That way, hopefully this never happens again. But when and if this ever happens again, I've got yarn and I don't have to sit there and scroll on my phone, which I didn't really, because my sister, who lives a little bit farther away from us, she was getting her phone blown up all day with play-by-play of exactly what was going on and what was being said. So now that you know the backstory of why I was in the ER all day, it wasn't for me, it was from my mom. Yeah, now that you know about a little more about my mom too. So please don't feel sorry for me, just pray for us, because we're just getting started on this journey, and I know it's going to be a long journey ahead of us, but we're going to embrace it head on, and it's going to be the best journey ever. That's where I'm going. Now, back to Mom. A couple weeks ago, she brought me a hat. Is that the hat? Yeah, and she told me that she couldn't remember how to crochet. Now, this was concerning to me, that she couldn't remember how to crochet, because she's been crocheting probably since she was a little girl like me. But she brought me a hat. It was kind of half done, and it wasn't even finished off correctly. I didn't say anything to her. I just took it and thanked her for the hat, and then I did finish it off to where it won't come unraveled. But the fact that she couldn't remember how to start a hat, she couldn't remember how to crochet, and the one that she brought me, she couldn't remember how to finish it off properly, was very concerning for me. So this was the hat that she brought me. As you can see, it's just one color on the top and just a single strand of yarn, and then she added another color in on the bottom. So this is a peach and a mustard color. And I'm going to try turning this off. That's not any better. There we go. A peach and a mustard color. And what she did, I don't know. Like I said, I just finished it off. But this is where I finished it off. She had this loop, and it wasn't even attached. She had just yarn just hanging. So I was able to pull the stitches back a little bit and get the loops together and tie it off for her. And this is the other side. I'm not sure what she was doing here, but this side is secure, but it was kind of wonky weird. But this is one that she did when one that she'd finished when she told me she forgot how to crochet. This hat will be just fine. It's not going to come unraveled or anything. And I guess for those hot-headed children, this will be perfect. So there's that one. And then, like I said, once she told me she couldn't remember how to crochet, I was like, well, here, let me start you a hat, and then you can finish it. So I was visiting with her. I grabbed a crochet hook, a couple colors of yarn, and did the top, because she does hers top down. I did the top, whatever you want to call it, top part with the increases. And then I handed it to her, and I think I told you guys about this. But I handed it to her, and I said, here, you finish the hat, and then we'll have a hat that we both finished off. So here is that hat. And you can see there's my double crochets with the decrease or increase on the top. And then this is how Mom finished it off. This is kind of like a turquoise color and like a really light green. But yeah, and this is how she always finishes off her hats. And that's tied in a knot. It's not going to come undone. But yeah, this was a hat that Mom and I did together. And obviously she did remember how to crochet. She's actually brought me 4 more since she finished this one too. But she brought me 4 more as well. So here's another one that she did. This is like that mustard color and the orange. And then she did some peach down here at the bottom with it. Okay, that's fine. I thought that was going to come undone, but no, that's fine. That's just a funky loop. I don't know. I think she ties everything in double knot, or in a knot. But yep, here's another hat that Mom made. This one's really pretty. This is one that she did. This is a variegated, and then she did a light yellow, and then she did like the blue on the bottom. Very pretty. And for what it's worth, she does a slip stitch. How she does it, I don't know, because I can't do it. But here's what the inside of Mom's hats look like. Sometimes you'll get little spots where she's tied the yarn together, because she don't, when it gets tangled, she just cuts it. She don't mess with trying to untangle it. She just cuts it. I won't do that. Here is a red and blue hat that Mom made. And then here is a pink and yellow, and then changes to yellow and green. Kind of looks like a flower. So those are the hats that Mom has brought me lately. I am so glad that she finally remembered how to work on hats. I really like this. We'll have to make some more hats, Mom and I together. But we were at 47, so that's 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, and 53. So I will update my hat count here, and then we will put those in the bag. So this is 422, 20, 24, and we have 53 hats. So it is the middle of April, and we are halfway there. That is awesome. And I will honestly state that Mom has made most of the hats, but I figure that is probably a good thing, because that gives her brain something to do, gives her something to work on. So yeah, that is good. So I will add those to this bag with the other ones that she gave me here recently. And it says 53 hats. That's awesome. Do that, and then we'll stick those down here. Now, you're probably wondering, Anna, aren't you making hats? Yeah, I have a couple started. I have a couple of loom knit hats started that I just work on when I just want something I don't have to think about. So, yeah, I do have a couple started. So, 53, that is our current count as of April 22nd. One thing I forgot to tell you that I was going to show you was I finished those Suncatcher diamond paintings, the hearts. All I need to do is seal them, but they are finished. They are beautiful. I love them. I love them. Now, this is the blue one. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen these. But this is the blue one. Yes, beautiful. See how that sparkles? There it is up close again. And it is double-sided. And then the little dangly thing, whatever you want to call it, there's the hook at the top. So there's the blue one. For right now, I just have them hanging up here on the wall until I get them sealed. I don't really want to put them in the window. This is the one I like. I do like the blue one, but I really like this one. I really like this one a lot. So yeah, there we go. Shiny. And then it's also got the little dangly thing hanging down. So yeah, there's my two sun catchers. I really like these. I like them a lot. So anyway, all right, now that I've told you that, even though I told you I wasn't going to tell you that, the joke. Here's the joke that my son asked me. How does the man on the moon cut his hair? I'll tell you at the end of the video. So now, the cool Tunisian thing that you probably didn't know. Before I get there, it is very unlikely of me to cut yarn for a project that I decide I don't want to do. Because I hate tying yarn together. I will do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. So normally I will just unravel it and wind it up. But this particular time I did not, because I wanted this yarn right here. This was a two-color yellow yarn, or two-color yellow hat that I was working on with Tunisian crochet, and I wasn't liking it for whatever reason. So instead of unraveling it, I just snipped the yarn. I know. But anyway, this is really cool. And I have known this. This was not a surprise to me, but I thought I would share it with you. this yellow, which was my return stitch, it's a really bright yellow, I have unraveled, sorry, I have unraveled it back to where I was doing my increases. Now, the way I do my increases is just a, like, pull up a loop in between two vertical bars. And because of the way that the increase is done, I can't unravel it any farther until I unravel my forward stitch, which was that lighter yellow. So this actually looks really cool. If I could leave it like this, I would, but I'm going to have to finish unraveling it. But here we go. As you can see, you got the middle, and then where it has been pulled out, it looks like I knitted it. But honestly, well, I was doing a funky thing. I was doing like a treble crochet thing, like a few rows down. That's what I didn't like about it. But honestly, the rest of it, it looks like I knitted it, and I did not knit it. This is all Tunisian simple stitch. But when you don't do increases, you can do simple stitch, and you can pull out the return stitch, and it makes a really loose knit project. That's what the front of it looks like. Here's what the back of it looks like. It looks literally like it had been knitted. And of course, this is where with the return stitch color on there. So yeah, isn't that pretty cool? Did you know that you could do that? If you did, let me know down in the comments below. If you didn't know that, let me know down in the comments below as well. Now, before I go, the answer to the joke, which is, how does the man in the moon cut his hair? Are you ready for this? Eclipse it. Oh, I love it. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you are so inclined, please say some prayers for my mom. Please say some prayers for us as we care for my mom. And I will see you real soon in my next video.